Hello everyone, welcome back to CryptoCache. Thank you very much for joining me here. I hope you're having an amazing day. We're going to take a quick look at Sandbox, and before we do, we usually look at Bitcoin. I can kind of summarize though in one word: awesome. Right? Higher highs and higher lows essentially for basically 3 days consistent from Bitcoin. So that is causing a spur to push the prices up for most coins right now. There's not much else outside of just the higher highs and higher lows really that are driving the market right now. If we can get the price to close somewhere up above, about 52,000, it's going to go crazy in a good way, right? Now, again, today, pretty significant increase from bottom to top. We're looking at about almost 5%. That's a pretty good day for Bitcoin. So just bear in mind that we're in good shape here. We got to celebrate it while we can. Just don't forget to, consider taking some profits, of course, and just know with the holiday weekend coming up, it's going to be a lower volume, therefore higher volatility. Okay, so there's a good chance we might actually see some really big price increases, some price hikes, but there might also be some dumps come early next week when the whales are back in business. So come Sunday, Pacific Standard Time, obviously, Monday somewhere else, we could expect a correction. So just bear that in mind. But for now, all good things for the moment for Bitcoin. Now, if you're new to the channel, just want to let you know, not a financial advisor, I just love teaching people how to trade. I literally do this every day for a living, and it's a dream job, right? So I love trading and teaching people how to become better financially. So I have a trading community and, of course, a trading academy that I'm creating right now as well. All that's going to be available in January. But the trading community, I share signals for every single trade that I take, and that's an available option for you, obviously, now or whenever you decide you want to do that. But I do look forward to getting to know you a bit better if that is the case. I'm interactive with all of my members. Now, looking here at Sandbox, what we can do is take a look at some of the obvious stuff and work our way down. Keep in mind the price increase today is obviously from stability from Bitcoin, okay? That helps. And if you look yesterday too, we had a red day yesterday. Bitcoin was red yesterday too. So bear this in mind. Sandbox is doing well. It's moving fairly independent today of Bitcoin, but it's also reliant on Bitcoin's success, okay? So Bitcoin drops to 46,000 tomorrow or over the weekend or Monday, we can expect a different result, okay? But for now, we're going to celebrate this, and it's obvious that, a 5% increase from Bitcoin is about an 18% increase from Sandbox. So that's why we were careful as a community here recently not to take any trades, because the fact that Bitcoin is making lower highs and lower lows. When that occurs, you can't do much, you can't force a trade. Well, right now, darn near everything's taken off, but Sandbox is a lot larger of an increase, you could say. But it's been a long time coming. You look at this kind of downtrend. It's taken almost that's a month. Yeah, that's pretty much just exactly 1 month. So 1 month from top to bottom, effectively, is how long it took for Sandbox to correct from this significant increase from before. Obviously, the downtrend in the market, it's just one of those scenarios, but generally speaking, it's looking very, very good. So let's go ahead and take a look at some of the key indicators here. Obviously, we're up over the 50-day SMA. We can see our RSI. We are up over 50 now. That's awesome. So up over 50 on the RSI really helps us consider the fact that this is more bullish than bearish, and essentially we can consider the price to continue to increase. What we're hoping for eventually is to get the RSI up over 70 on the 1 day. That's an ultimate goal, because we've had that happen before and it works as a support level. But here's the key takeaway: we got a MACD convergence occurring today, which is essentially one of the best indicators you can have, whereas the 12-day exponential moving average is intersecting with the 26 in upward fashion. What that's really just telling us, though, simple layman's terms, is that the bears are losing control and the bulls are soon to take control. Okay, I mean, they already have in essence, right? But since the 1 day chart is a slower moving, type of moving averages, so to speak, or just it's a slower time frame, you're going to see that delay, right? That's why the 4-hour chart is kind of a better indicator on the MACD, but the 1 day is kind of like that seal the deal. It's kind of official, if you will, right? The key takeaway here is that we want to see the 1 day candlestick close above $5.80. If we can get that to close here today, we'll be in pretty good shape throughout the weekend to see a continued progression upwards. That is a key level resistance we need to break and essentially hold as a support. And you might be asking yourself, well, what? We've already broke it. What's the big deal? Not true. The 1 day candlestick hasn't closed yet, therefore it hasn't officially broken. Okay? You got to understand the 1 day candlestick is probably the most effective time frame for actually solidifying a support and resistance zone, especially Fibonacci retracement levels. So just remember that. Now the 4-hour chart, let's go ahead and take a look at this here. We're up over the 200 and the 50, both great things. We're up over 70 in the RSI, so just note that this is extremely overextended on the short term, or sorry, the midterm. Therefore, we can expect a potential retracement, but if it's going to retrace, it may not be significant. It'll probably come down to 580. At least that's the hope, right? Traditionally, when you break a resistance, it'll come back down to test as a support. So we could see that in the near future. But we did actually see a MACD convergence that was what? Right around 5 a.m. earlier today. So about 8 hours ago, obviously, 8 hours worth of bullish momentum, we saw that indication. So would have been hard to pick up on that right away, but usually when you see MACD convergence in the 4-hour chart, that's a strong consideration to take entry. And what usually we see too with the MACD convergence on the 4-hour chart, if we look at the Ichimoku cloud on the 1 hour, it almost always communicates directly. In other words, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 5 hours ago, the Ichimoku cloud gave us an indication of a buy signal, right? Whereas the MACD convergence, even though it's a 4-hour time frame, roughly 8 hours ago told us we have an interest in taking a long position. So had you set up your alerts for just say a MACD convergence in the 4-hour or the Ichimoku cloud breakthrough, you would have been notified and you would have been able to get in early. That's essentially the concept. Okay, because when I see both those things, that's actually a double rainbow. It's what I refer to it as. Two really awesome things happening at once. We have those all across the board. Like today is like a rainbow city, right, for the entire market, because it's just continuously increasing and doing very, very well. Again, this is all reliant on Bitcoin. 5% for Bitcoin, 18% for Sandbox, right? A lot of other altcoins are going to be doing the same thing because they've been held down for so long. Okay. So all in all, it's a good time to add to your positions, even if the price seems to be overextended, because the likelihood of it continuing upwards is pretty high, pending Bitcoin, again, doesn't drop sub 46,000. Okay, so just some key indicators there. But everything here, essentially, for Sandbox is telling us that we have a good, strong position to hold. Let's take a look at TD sequential. We probably got a reset recently. So we're up to a 6 right now. So if the price were to continue to consolidate right around 580, that'd be ultimate. That way we can have maybe just say, a few hours worth of consolidation, then another leg up. Because right now Bitcoin needs to calm down, because you can see it's actually on the up and up as well. We're at about an 8 on TD sequential here. So therefore we should expect some type of, I wouldn't say retracement, but if nothing else, at least some sideways action. Kind of like what we saw before. This healthy consolidation period was very good for us, right? It allowed a lot of altcoins to kind of be like, oh, I'm okay now. And the fear, uncertainty, and doubt start to subside, right? So we're feeling that holiday cheer right now from Bitcoin, and it's kind of trickling into altcoins, of course. So again, all good stuff here in the sense of Sandbox, right? We're, again, a bit on the overextended side, but not terrible. We're at a 6 out of 9 on TD sequential, so we have roughly 3 hours left of bullish momentum. Is it going to continue to push higher right now? Based on Sandbox's history, it has potential to, yes. Should it? No, we don't want it to, because it's going to go, again, more parabolic, and we do not want parabolic increases. We want healthy continuations. And this is borderline, problematic as far as how high up it's gone in such a short amount of time. Okay, I'd much rather have seen this over, 12 to 24 hour period instead of just 6 hours, right? So we got to be real in the sense that it could retrace. Hopefully we can hold this support level 580, close above the 1-day chart, and call it good for that to be in the new support level. If that were to be the case, then we can set our sights on $6.31 as the next potential resistance level. So if you're going to set a profit target, do 625 or 630. Don't do 631, because that's a major Fibonacci retracement level, and you may not get filled because prices have a tendency of rejecting right at major levels there. Okay. So again, just some advice there, of course. That's what we do as a community. We always set profit targets just prior to major Fibonacci retracement levels, and obviously major support and resistance zones too. But there aren't really any major ones right now, because we're up over a significant resistance for the moment. We just need to close, consolidate, and then get ready for the next leg up. Okay, so not a terrible place to add to your position. Dollar cost average, of course. Don't put everything into one basket here, because again, Sandbox is a bit on the overextended side. But long-term, big picture, we can definitely expect somewhere in the range of $8.50 in the relative near future. I'm going to be conservative to say the next month, because I'd rather see a nice continuation slowly without a significant increase, but I'm going to celebrate that if that happens, right? Because again, Sandbox is definitely good potential. It's probably the, it's the premium class, so to speak, of its genre. So I think we're in good shape here. You can expect Sandbox to increase eventually. So, whether or not you put a few dollars in today or, a decent amount today, it'll probably eventually yield some results. Now, is it going to 2x this year? No, this year is almost over. We got 1 week left. I wouldn't expect it to come up that high. Again, it can do that, right? Do we want it to? No. If it does, I think it's going to be a possible significant retracement scenario, and we'll have to reevaluate at that time. We'll bridge that gap when we get there, but for now, I think that we're in good shape here with Sandbox, and we should expect to see, hopefully some consolidation 580 get tested as a support level, and then kind of move on. So I'm just going to go ahead and set 581 as an alert. So in case they were to come back down, might consider adding to my position or opening up a swing trade position with our community. So it does seem likely that I think 850 would come up as an option. So what? That's about 40% increase. That's pretty decent. And having traded for over 15 years, more so starting with the traditional stock market, a 15% increase is huge, right? Or 18% for today. Like that, people would be going crazy on Wall Street. And we're kind of like desensitized by it now, but just know that that's actually very good and very healthy. Okay, it's just a bit on the overextended side, so try not to expect it to go too much higher. If it does, I think that's cause for concern. So I hope you learned a thing or two here today. If you did, great, awesome. Love to hear about it. Feel free to comment below, like, subscribe, obviously, if that is you feel like this is quality. And if you obviously want more quality of content, feel free to join my community. Recommend signing up prior to the year end, where there's only a few slots left available, and then we're going to open up the floodgates on the first of the year. And the main reason why too is we're going to be increasing the rates just based on the simple fact that there's a lot of demand, and I'm rolling out with the Trading Academy as well, and that'll kind of go hand in hand with a really strong way to become a better trader. I'm going to have over 50 videos in depth helping you explain how to become a better trader. So just again, something I'm truly passionate about. Thanks again for your time. I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Have a great rest of your day. Take care.